What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. I am so excited about this first story because, girl, you inspire me. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for 34-year-old Nigerian-born Foyekemi Ikyaator, who opened her own full-service emergency room in Houston, Texas. Shut up! Okay, it's not like a room for those of you that are not in America. Let's just say emergency hospital. She's a graduate of the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health, and she completed her residency in emergency medicine in 2012 at the Emory School of Medicine and Public Health in Atlanta, Georgia. And then she moved to Texas to get more experience, and in January of 2016 she officially opened her own emergency room service. I'm like, say what? She was 32 years old at the time. For that. Now we're talking about a well-equipped ER with on-site laboratory, radiology equipment, as well as pharmacy. Waiting time is literally 5 minutes, guys, and they do all kinds of lab tests, and you get your results immediately. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they're always opened.
Lifesavers ER gives you the urgent care you require. Our friendly board-certified ER physicians and ER nurses are available to care for you. Our modern CT scanner, X-ray, ultrasound machines, and 24 hours pharmacy services help provide you with the required solution.
Isn't that impressive? Yeah, isn't that impressive? I am so proud right now. And a huge shout out, by the way, to her husband. He handles the administrative side as well as the business side of the company. They're doing this together, and you know, they're doing this while raising 2 young children. I am so proud of them. You know, these are the people that make us proud of being Nigerians in America. So I decided to talk about her story because, you know, sometimes when we go through tough times in life, when we go through trying times, especially when we go through the loss of a loved one, it's very easy to give up on our dreams or to be depressed and become bitter. I'm saying this because it wasn't always easy. If you should ask this lady some of the challenges that she had to go through to get to where she is today, you will be surprised. I mean, one of the challenges is having to deal with the loss of her mom to ovarian cancer. As a medical practitioner, I can imagine how hard that must have been for her. Her mom was also a nurse, but by the time they found out that she had cancer, it was too late. So I can imagine how she dealt with that. But the good thing is she turned her pain into her drive to save as many lives as possible. As you know, an early diagnosis can be the difference between life and death, and that's what she's doing right now. And look at her today. She's saving lives. I'm sure that her mom will be very proud of her. And it's not just her. We have so many Nigerian doctors and nurses all across the US that are saving lives, and I just want to thank every one of you. Thank you so much. So when I see something like this, it baffles me because I still don't understand why the Nigerian government is still not able to put together, even if it's one small hospital, so long as it has the necessary gadget for the presidency. If this lady could set up an emergency service, why can't we get it right as a nation? Imagine how I felt. Imagine my disappointment when Buhari tweeted that he's going back to London for medical treatment. I was like, I don't care whether he's been back. This is a national disgrace. When are we going to get it right? It's been 3 years since he became president. When would healthcare become his priority? This is his 5th time of going to the colonial masters to fix him, and then we say that we are independent. 55 years after independence, we are still going back to them to fix our president. Altogether, this man has spent 170 days receiving treatment in London since he became president in 2015. He even spent 104 days in London at a time. Shouldn't that be a drive for him to do whatever it would take to set up a good hospital? This thing is common sense, by the way. The former president of Togo, Nyansigbe, died on the plane while they were taking him abroad for treatment. This man was president for 38 years. It wasn't as if he was ready to leave. He wanted to die there, of course, but the whole 38 years, he did not build one good hospital where he could be treated. So when he had heart attack, he died before they got him to Paris, or maybe it was Israel that he was going, I don't remember, but he died on the way. If he had built one, even if it's just one emergency room service like this lady did, he wouldn't have died that day. 3 years is more than enough for Buhari to equip the Aso Rock Hospital. The building is already there. Just get the necessary equipment. Every year we allocate millions of dollars in the name of renovating the Aso Rock Hospital. I don't know where the money is going to. They should at least use that money to buy the necessary equipment. And for those that are defending him, saying that Nigerian doctors will kill him if he's treated in Nigeria, I'm like, shoo. So his doctor cannot come from UK? You see, in fact, there is no respect anymore for our president. You see, because they know that he has no choice. He doesn't have the equipment in his country, so they can just tell him, come over here, and he will get up and go. Shouldn't you feel embarrassed that that is how your president is being treated? What about the masses that don't have doctors in the UK? we are probably expected to pray. Even if you don't care about the masses, at least do it for yourself, Mr. President. I hope that you are watching, because you are not well. We all know that you are not well. No one should be begging you to set up a good hospital. Honestly, I've been talking about this now for 6 years on this show. I'm starting to get tired. But you know, when I see people like this, I'm inspired that Nigerians are doing big things. In case you guys are watching, you've done something that the whole of Buhari's administration has not been able to do in 3 years. Not just Buhari, you've done something that Jonathan's administration was not able to do the whole 5 years that he was in power. So we are very proud of you guys. Now, maybe you are not in the medical field, but you have a dream, and it looks as if your dream would never happen. I don't know the obstacles that you have faced. I don't know how many times you have tried and you failed. Please let her story and her husband's story inspire you today, that you can still have your own business. You can still have your degree. Whatever it is that you want to do, please don't let anybody tell you that it will not happen, even if it looks as if time is no longer on your side. So long as you are alive, there is still hope. You may even fail several times, but please don't give up. You never know, you may be very close to your breakthrough. You'll be amazed if she tells you everything that she's had to go through. But the reason we are able to celebrate her today is because she did not give up. You never know what will happen tomorrow. You never know what would happen before the end of this day. And that's why you cannot afford to give up. So that someday we can also share your story. Someday your story would also inspire the world. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to the Gambia, my Gambia. When did he become president again? January last year, and he has already built a house for himself in his village. Hey, father, you see why African presidents, why are they all the same? Put him on speed that you not do, Mr. President. Let me look here in case you are watching, Mr. President. Welcome to my plasma TV. Have you forgotten how the whole world was celebrating when Yaya Jammeh stepped down? We had high hope for Gambia, only to hear that you are only taking care of your own and your family, that you are not taking care of the whole country. I'm like, what? Like, say what? Everybody in Gambia has been complaining that there is no water is not stable, and the electricity is no longer stable. At the same time that people are complaining all over the country, water started running non-stop in your village as well, and electricity has now become stable in the president's village. How about see, I have nothing against his village or him developing his village, but when you're elected as president, your job is to represent the whole country, to take care of the whole country. I shared the whole time that people were asking for water and electricity. The man was busy building himself a mansion in his village. He's only been in power for 1 year, and the first project he has successfully completed is building a house for himself. How about he even took his family there for vacation last month because they now have stable water and electricity in his village. Where is the patriotism is what I don't understand. This is selfishness, Mr. President, and it is very, very disappointing. I'm not saying that he shouldn't take care of his village, but please don't ignore other parts of the country as well. Your village shouldn't come first. I think that we Africans, we have the mentality that, oh, now that I'm in power, I better take everything that I can take before the power is taken away from me. I don't know why we think like that. We forget about why we're actually in power. This is a country of only 2 million people. Kwara State alone is more than that. This is like talking about Bayelsa. There is no need why Gambia shouldn't be the best country in all of Africa because of your population. And look at how beautiful it is. You have tourism, but we cannot get there if our leaders continuously take care of their own interest first. To make matters worse, the man is trying to be like Nigerian presidents that don't talk to the press. I don't know. He announced that he will only meet with journalists once every 6 months. I'm like, say what? And can you believe that that is the only time that people can ask him questions about whatever is happening in the country? So whatever is going on, people have to wait for 6 months for him to address them. Like I said, there is no need to complicate issues. There is no excuse. But you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Biya is not only harassing people from southern Cameroon anymore. He's now sending soldiers to burn down their homes. Look at this video, for example. Oh my God. See what just happened? Now, when the camera zoomed in, you could see the soldier that set the house on fire. Wow. Yeah. The military that is supposed to fight for the people are the ones that the government is using to attack them. You see, there are so many graphic pictures that I can't show you guys, but they are killing people. And not just that, they are now destroying their plants. They go to their farm, they destroy their plants so that they won't have food, so that they can starve. What do you call this if not genocide? And the government is saying that civilians are the ones killing soldiers. I strongly condemn that. At the same time, if this is how soldiers are treating the people, I can't imagine that young people will just sit down and watch. By the way, so many young people have fled into the bush when soldiers started killing them.
Right here in Kumbu, we are now refugees in our own homeland. They have come and they have driven us from our houses. The army, we are sitting in the bush. This is us. To sleep here. They will keep it there. One man for all man for one.
You will run the shame.
You don't fight brothers, not me.
Yeah.
Because you are begin there.
And not long ago, a military general confessed that they are burning down houses. He said that they are doing it because soldiers are afraid of the people. I'm like, wow, how can soldiers be doing something like this? And they admitted it. By the way, they fired this general after he mentioned that in an interview.
Someone knocked on the door. I said, "Who's there?" and opened it a bit. It was the police, and they hit me right in the face. There was blood everywhere. I just didn't stop bleeding.
At her age, she says, she should not have to be afraid of the police, and especially not in her own home.
But can you believe that in the middle of all this, Paul Biya celebrated his 85th birthday? The man is getting close to 90 years, and he's been in power for 36 years. And before that, do you know that he was the prime minister for 7 years, which makes it 42 years since he's been the leader of Cameroon. And he's now the longest ruling non-royal leader in the whole world. It bothers me that there are still some people in northern Cameroon that are not bothered by what Paul Biya is doing to the people of southern Cameroon, thinking that he will succeed in stopping the uproar in southern Cameroon. But I ask myself that the day that the people of northern Cameroon also decide, you know what, 36 years is enough, 42 years is enough, and that he should step down, he will do the same thing to them. So why not speak up now? Having said that though, I like to acknowledge the fact that there are some people in northern Cameroon who are not looking away at this time. In fact, some of them have taken in people that were fleeing from southern Cameroon. So thanks to those people, but we can do much more than that. If the whole country erupts in protest, he will have no choice than to step down. By the way, this is our next door neighbor, Nigerians. And as of January of this year, 43,000 Cameroonians have fled into Nigeria. So we cannot ignore this. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please make sure that you do that. Until next week, I will see y'all later. Peace out.